Hello, everyone. Just welcome to this April edition of our newsletter. I just wanted to review this distance learning resource that we put together and just a couple of things related to the learning at home process that we're all exploring really for the first time in a lot of ways. So, whether or not you're new to the digital resources and the options within Google's suite of productivity tools and the other curriculum resources we have, or if you've been using them for a little while, there definitely is a different approach to things now with the shutdown and everything that is happening with our quarantine period. So I just want to overview the resources that we have on our dedicated pages, where they are, and just a little note on what to focus on during this time of shutdown. And so it really all starts in our Launchpad and our iSchool page. Many of you have used this resource for a while, and I would encourage, if you haven't spent much time in there already, this is our main hub for training ideas and resources related to information that will stay up to date, and we keep it as current as possible. It also gives you a quick link to make an appointment and book a virtual training session. Many of you have taken advantage already and have even done this with small groups as well, because we can host a whole group at once in a virtual session. So definitely take advantage of that. If you need a little assistance getting your feet wet in some of these resources, or you just have some questions that came up over the course of practicing, definitely hit us up for that. But it starts with this distance learning page that we have. And so as I click on that resource, we wanted to kind of make this a one-stop shop for everything related to at-home learning. And so a couple things that you'll want to know here. The first is that we do have a button that gives you a quick link to the district website resource, where the curriculum departments have put together quite a bit of resources available for at-home learners. So first and foremost, we have developed this Chromebooks at home learning resource for parents and students. Many have received a district issued Chromebook as of this past week, if not the last day or so, and will probably continue to do so as the need is found out. So this page is dedicated for at-home learning and resources related to Chromebooks and the HPS provided Google accounts. And so definitely refer parents and students to this resource first, as this will become just a one-stop shop, I think, for how to connect their device to Wi-Fi, log on, how to access the digital resources. We even threw together a little Google Classroom overview just to talk through some terminology and where to go, as well as some Chromebook settings, printer connections, some troubleshooting steps, and additional help and support options and frequently asked questions. So if your parents or students are struggling a little bit or just need some more information, definitely reach out to them with this resource guide and this website, and we'll continue to keep this up to date as the needs arise as well. And so you do also have links by department for their various curriculum resources that have been put out during this time. Below that button for the other at-home resources, we have put up a couple categories for some of the common questions that we get related to Google Drive, related to Google Classroom and its setup, and certainly a lot of resources related to Google Meet and using for virtual meetings and some recording in there. We also have some frequently asked questions set up in terms of how to handle a phone number with Google Voice, and other resources that are available as well. And so just use this website to get your feet wet, to cover some different topics that you might not know about or just need some practice. And we tried to make it as simple as possible to get in and out and get your options answered, including things like recording a meeting or some best practices for how to handle the different meetings from there. And one of the things we're going to run into a lot throughout this time, and you probably have seen this already, where there are many apps and websites that are offering their resources for free, where it's normally a paid service just during this quarantine period. And while we typically, and we still do encourage folks to explore all the different tools and resources that the internet provides for us, just as a disclaimer, I just want you to understand that unless we in behavioral technology have specifically vetted and directed staff to use different systems or tools, we don't have the ability to provide support or troubleshooting related to these other systems. And so our typical recommendation is to exhaust all the built-in resources you have first before you seek alternatives. especially in this time that is unique to many of us. The biggest encouragement I can give you is that it would be best practice to spend your time and energy focusing on skills that we have resources for now and that will continue to be available when school is back to normal again. And so, with that in mind, we've linked this resource right off of our page here, this Google's Teach from Home resource that they put together. Because we know that the Google suite of tools is here and has been here for years in Haverhill and will continue to be here. So, definitely anything that they put together is already vetted and it's already going to be recommended and supported. Whereas other companies that put out different products that might do similar things but do it in a different way might not be fully supported. So, I would encourage you to check out this Teach from Home resource that Google has put together. They actually have done a really nice job, in my opinion, just in terms of providing a teacher-focused resource page that talks about learning at home from a student perspective, but also from a teacher perspective. Okay, how can you approach this learning from home differently? How can you teach remotely using video calls? How do you do live question day with your class? What do you want if you don't want to use video to do learning at home? How can you use Google Classroom or Google Sites or using Google Forms for quizzes and doing some real-time feedback in a live sense without having to be on screen or with audio? And they have some accessibility considerations in here as well. So they did a really nice job in putting together different resources in here. And every one of these has a built-in tutorial about how to use it. It gives you a link to the different sites that are here as well. And so while this isn't certainly not things that we created in-house for you to learn about, it might simply prove to be a great learning tool just to get your feet wet in something that's unique, or just get some ideas for different ways of using the products in a different way than you have before. So just in summary, enjoy this time as best you can. Use it as a way to enhance your skills, practice new things, but I definitely encourage you practice them in a way that you can then use these skills again when we're back to normal. So enjoy the process and check in with us via support ticket or remote training session if you need any help or want to just go through your list of questions together with one of us. Take care and enjoy.